to it as opposed to a position. So my goal is to minimize positions and try to see if I can convert any position into a transitional position. So if a position was coming in here before, pop, 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 and now I can actually go pop, 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 pop. I just converted one position into a transition. Immediately you save time. Just like that, you save time because you're flowing through it. You never lost momentum. When you stop and have to gain momentum, that initial step is going to be slower than the guy that flowed through that stage. The flamingo through that area. Does that make sense? All right, that's a transition. Last one is dead space. I think Max actually calls it dead time. It's kind of funny because I called it dead space for years, and then he's been calling it dead time for years. And we finally talked together, and I'm like, hey Max, what do you call this? Like dead time. I'm like, oh, that's a cool name. He's like, what do you call it? I'm like, dead space. He's like, oh, kind of similar. To me, I look at it as if I'm playing a video game, right? If I'm running and I'm not shooting, I'm losing points. If my gun's not going bang, I'm losing points.
There you go.
So I gotta minimize that time spent there in the dead space, dead zone. There's nothing happening. I look at it as red light going off my head, -5, -5, -5, -5. When I start shooting, depending on what I'm hitting, excuse me, depending on what I hit, it's either +5, +4, +3. Make sense? Right? So I would rather see +5s. +5, +5, +5, right? That's how I look at it. Green. It becomes green, right? That's how I see it, how it is. So dead space, I attack it, like my life depends on it. I eliminate. So dead space is, let's say, from this barrel to that barrel. What's my dead space?
Transition.
Like movement, right? The movement all the way through. So if I had you guys shoot from this barrel to that barrel, that's two positions. I go, that's my position, that's my position. All right? First thing right away, I'm going to, how do I make, let's say I'm only presented with these two targets, and then that one, those two targets, the one with the partial with the no shoot, this one open and then partial. First thing right away is how can I make this into a transition? Or which one can I make into a, can I make one into a transition? That's always my question right away. So it's the difference whether my guy shoots this and he does this. Ba-bum, bum-bum, run. Ba-bum, ba-bum. Versus a guy that does this. Bum, bum, ba-bum. Ba-bum, ba-bum. Difference. Right? It's the same exact freaking stage. Two ran differently. One guy sacrificed his first shot a little slower. The other guy was a lot faster. That makes sense? But the other guy that was moving already spent a lot less time in position as opposed to the other guy that was standing still there in the full position before he actually had to move. The other guy didn't have to gain his momentum because he already started it before he actually ended. Does that make sense? So what we're going to do right now, there's two areas here that look kind of the same. This and that, right? We're going to learn some movements within the field course here, all right? Cool. So what we're going to do is, sorry, I was thinking about what I was going to do next. What we're going to do is we're going to learn how to shoot off of a lean and transition into, use the transition to initiate our movement. Use a stimulus to initiate our movement. But still, you're not trying to fall out of position. You're using the shooting to let you go from that position. Does that make sense? Not yet. Not really.
Not yet.
Maybe. So here, this is what I'm looking for. All I'm looking for is this. Draw on that target. Bang, bang. From that target to this target, I'm going to initiate my knee. Does that make sense? So I keep my foot back as far as I can. I don't step over. The minute I step over, my lean gets faster. Right? So I leave my left foot back. Pop, pop, essentially drag it. Alright? What is falling? I mean, damn it. I gave the answer again. What is walking?
Falling over. A controlled fall.
Yes, a controlled fall. Right? If I want to run, I just want to keep leaning forward. If I don't catch myself, I'm going to eat the ground, right?
Yeah.
So essentially that's what we're doing here. You're just going to draw, bang, 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 bang. And you're going to essentially, see it took me like 2 or 3 steps to actually stop myself from moving. As opposed to sitting here, bang, 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 and then take off. Difference. Also, this is talking about launching yourself. Launching yourself from this position where this I can take advantage on the transition. The larger the transition, the easier I can start this lean. Now I can add another movement. If it's that target to this target, ba, ba, I've already also covered ground, not only lead. I covered ground and lead at the same time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if it's even bigger and I'm really confident, I'll go ba, 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 ba. See how it's two steps now. So it's gradually, the more time I have, the more things I can do.
So you're staying fluid
Yes.
as much as possible.
Yes.
So it's like the 1 foot drill we would do.
Type thing. Yes, exactly. The 1 foot drill that you did, now I'm going to try to put it in. Then you're going to start seeing this flamingo. Some of my students, I'll hear them when they're stages. It's been a couple years since I've seen them.